My name's Maddison McKibbin, and this is an Olympic update. First off, there's a lot of crazy that happened in Sochi. So now, leading up to the last tournament of the year in Ostrava, the Czech Republic, is going to be the most exhilarating, gut-wrenching, edge of your seat, must-see volleyball event of the entire year. And we're going to break it down. All right, so as we all know, Sarah Sponsel and Kelly Claes won in Sochi. They got gold. And as I said last week, if Sponsel and Claes made it to one final, they will have passed Carrie and Brooke and claimed that second spot for the U.S. And they did it. They passed Carrie and Brooke for the second U.S. Olympic spot, but it's still not over.
Actually, it is over. While I was making this video, I was watching the qualifier of Carrie and Brooke, and they lost in the last round. So Carrie and Brooke are officially out, and Sarah Sponsel and Kelly Claes are now the second team going to represent the United States in the Olympics.
All right, now on to the U.S. Olympic men. And just as I said last week, and for Tri and Trevor to remain in the race, they need a bare minimum 5th place finish in this upcoming tournament in Sochi, Russia. Trevor and Tri needed a 5th place, and they got a 5th place. And they also needed the other two U.S. teams not to increase their points, which they didn't. So they're still in the race for this last tournament in the Czech Republic. Now, what Tri and Trevor need to get in order to pass one of the U.S. men's team is to do exactly what Sarah Sponsel and Kelly Claes did last week in Sochi. They need to win the tournament. They need to win. They need a gold medal. Not only do they need to win and get a gold medal, but they also have to have Nick and Phil or Jake and Taylor not get a 5th or better. Let me rephrase that. If Jake and Taylor and Nick and Phil get a 5th or better and Tri and Trevor go on to win the entire tournament, it won't matter. Taylor and Jake, Nick and Phil will go on to represent the U.S. in the Olympics. Now on to the international men, which I said last week was heating up. And now it's heating up so much that I think it's almost boiling. Last update, I talked about the battle between the Polish and Latvians. And the Polish team, Kantor and Losiak, who were the 16th spot, right outside of the 15th spot for the provisional rankings, they not only beat Christian Sorum and Anders Mol, the #1 team in the world who hadn't lost a game since Rome World Tour Finals in the semis of 2019, they beat them in pool play. Then in the quarters, they matched up against the Latvians and they beat them and they went all the way to win gold. So they moved from 16th out of the Olympic provisional rankings to 14th. All right, ladies and gentlemen, so it's an all-out war for that 15th spot. So right now the Chileans, Grimwald and Grimwald, are sitting in 15th. But they haven't gotten a 9th or better in the last 4 tournaments, and they're a really good team. But if they don't perform well in Sochi, this is what these 3 teams, the Latvians, the Swiss, and a Dutch team that came out of nowhere, need in order to secure that 15th spot. Sitting in 16th spot, the Latvians, Smoilovs and Smedins, what they need to get is they need to get a 5th place. They already got a 5th place in Sochi, so they're capable of doing that. And also, just for you nerds out there, they were the second team to beat Anders Mol and Christian Sorum in that tournament, giving them their second loss in, I don't know, like a year and a half. So that's what they need in order to beat out the Chileans for that 15th spot. The next team that might have a chance at that 15th spot are the Swiss from Switzerland, HEIDRICH and GERSON. Now, what they need to get in this tournament in order to pass the Chileans and even the Latvians if they don't get 5th is a 3rd place finish. Now, out of all these contenders, they're the only team that has to start in the qualifier, but you can't count them out. Now, the last team that has a shot for that 15th spot is a team that was not even on my radar last week or the weeks prior, and that's the Dutch team, VARENHORST and Van Velde. Now, they need a 3rd place finish, the same as the Swiss team, but what they have on their side is not only are they in the main draw, but they got a 3rd back in Sochi. You know, they beat the Chilean team in pool play, and they barely lost to Sharif and Ahmed from Qatar in the semifinals. They lost in 3, and that team from Qatar, Ahmed and Sharif, won gold in the last Cancun tournament. So they could be that wild card. If they get hot again, keep it going from Sochi, who knows what can happen. So those are the teams to look out for. On the men's side, you have the U.S. men's teams. Tri has to get first. Nick and Phil, Jake and Taylor have to get a 5th or better just in case. It's a battle between the Chileans, the Latvians, the Swiss, and the Dutch. You can watch all the matches on Beach Volleyball World's YouTube channel starting Thursday, June 6th. That might be the day that this video comes out. So check it out, follow along. It's going to be exciting.